So I'm gonna teach you all how to start adding some custom models to your cars. Um, this is one of the cars I've done. Got a couple custom assets. Got a Glock, a Draco, a skeleton. I got an air tank in the back, some stars in the roof, some dice. Um, and I've added all these through just custom models I found online. Um, Usually custom models come with some textures, so I'll just start from finding a model online. I'm going to be doing this on the BMW we did in the last video. And I'll just run you guys through the process of finding a model, setting it up in Blender, sizing it to exactly where you want it, and then importing it and how to route the textures properly. So let's get into it. Alright, so once you find the model that you want to import, you can go ahead and click download 3D model. This is on Sketchfab. I'm going to select OBJ. I'm going to download this. So I downloaded the OBJ right here. I'm going to minimize this. Go to my downloads. It's going to be right here. I'm going to extract this. Open it up. You're going to have two files in here. You're going to have your textures, which obviously are going to be your textures. And you're going to have your source, which is going to be your OBJ. I'm going to extract this. And then here is the actual object. So now we can move over to the Blender side of things. Alright, so once you're in Blender, go ahead and load up the car. As you can see, I'm working on the same car we did in the last video. I have my Forza model loaded up. I'm going to go ahead and import. Actually, what we can do is just drag this right in. So this is the source OBJ. This is the skull that I just downloaded. I'm going to drag this right into Blender. And then there it is right there. I'm going to press G and then Z and just scale it all the way up. And then what I'm going to do is delete the windows, just so that I can go into the car and position it correctly. I'm also going to delete the roll cage because I don't run the roll cage, and I want to put it up in this corner right here. One thing I do notice is that this car is left-hand drive in the game, and it's on the right side right now. So if this ever happens to you, what you can do is select the whole car. So what I'm going to do is select the whole car and then unselect the skull. And I'm going to press Control M on my keyboard and then X. So now we can start positioning the skull and tuck it up into this corner over here. The controls for this are pretty simple. It's R is to rotate, so I usually R and then Z for the Z axis. R and then X is to rotate on the X axis, and then R and then Y is to rotate on the Y axis. You have scale, so S, and you can just scale it down like that. And then you also have G to grab, and you can move it on the Z, X, and then the Y axis as well. Alright, so once you're happy with the placement of your object, we can move over to the shading tab and check out how it's going to look in game. So what we're going to do is click new here. If you don't have this already, click new. If you already have it, don't bother. We can press Shift A, add a image texture. So we're going to go down to texture, image texture, and connect that. And we're going to add another image texture, as well as a normal map. So we're going to search for normal map. We're going to add that as well. We're going to connect the normals. We're going to connect the colors. And then we're going to select our textures here just to see how it's going to look in game. So I'm going to go to the textures. I'm going to select the base color. And I'm going to select the normal map for this image texture right there. So this is basically how it will look in game. Next step you could do is click on it, go to File, Export, OBJ. And we are going to save it right in our Models E46 OBJ folder. And make sure selection is on. I'm going to name it Scully, and I'm going to export. Now we can move over to the FTS side of things. Alright, so once FTS is loaded up, we can go over to our Modelbin creator. We're going to select Forza Horizon 6. Go to our OBJs folder. and select Scully. You can click next. This is our skull right here. This is the mesh for it. So what I'm going to do is import. I have two universal JSONs I use for custom models. So I'm going to go to my JSONs folder in here, and these are my two universals that I use. I can provide a link for these if you'd like. I'm going to not touch anything here, and I'm just going to click next, and then make sure it's selected. And I'm going to save the model bin to our Modelbins folder. So once you're done with that, next step is to go to where the car is being modded. So it's going to be in this folder. And I'm going to open up two of these. So I'm going to go here as well. I'm just going to copy the file path for quickness. Go here into our scene, interior details. This is usually where I put my custom interior models. So I'm going to go to my model bins. I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to paste it right into here. Next step would be going to FTS and go into Carbin editor. We can open up the .carbin for the vehicle. So it's going to be in our E46, our modded Carbin. We're going to look for a car body, so that's going to be for me under upgrades. Sometimes it's in standard parts, but for me it's in upgrades. And I'm going to click this plus icon right here to add a model. I'm then going to select my Scully. It's going to be in your interior details where we just saved it. And then this is a very important step. The model path is usually incorrect, so we need to add exactly where the model is. So for me, it's going to be in scene, interior details. So I need to add this right here. Go back to FTS and just right there add that file path. I'm going to delete one of these slashes, and then I need to add a backslash right here as well. So after you've added the model bin, the next thing you need to do, if it's in an upgrade section, you need to add upgrade IDs or it's not going to show up in game. So an easy thing to do this is like your seatbelts. They typically don't change, and you can see they have upgrade IDs. So all we're going to do is copy all four of these upgrade IDs and put it into our Scully. So what we can do is go over to our seatbelt, copy this one, go back to our Scully model bin, click the plus, and I'm just going to paste them here. And I'm going to do that for all four. So after you added your upgrade IDs, keep this Carbin editor open because we're going to need to stay in it. The next step would be to convert our textures into Swatchbins. So I'm going to go back to our file explorer. I'm going to go to our downloads, and I'm going to go into textures. These are our textures right here. We only need two of them. We need the base color and the normal, so I'm going to delete this middle one. And I'm going to rename this to Scully .Swatchbin. And I'm going to rename this one to Scully _normal .Swatchbin. And these will set up our textures to be readable by Forza. So what I'm going to do is drag these textures into our textures folder inside of our car. So textures, I'm going to just drag these right into here. So after we drag the textures into our textures folder in the car, what we can do now is just drag this folder right into our Mediapc. So I'm going to go over to our Forza Horizon 6 Mediapc, and I'm going to go into our cars. And I'm just going to drag this non-zipped version of our modded car into the Mediapc cars folder. The reason I'm doing this is to get the correct file path for our textures. So I'm going to go over to our textures, and I'm going to copy this file path right here up until Mediapc. So I'm just going to copy that. Now what we can do is head back over to our Carbin editor, and we can scroll down, and we can add game : // and then we can put our Mediapc cars textures right there. Remove media, make sure PC is removed out of media, so it should look like this. Make sure you click Cockpit so that it actually shows up while you're in first person in the vehicle. I can then click Save, and we're done with the Carbin editor side of things. We can then go into our 3D viewer, and we can open up the E46 folder. So I'm going to go and just select this folder. It's going to open up the car into 3D viewer. I'm going to remove the windows just so it's easier to edit. and I'm going to click right onto our custom object. As you can see, it's showing up right there. I'm going to click it, and I'm going to scroll down to the materials, and I'm going to go to the textures, and this is where we need to set up the proper file path for the textures. So as we did earlier, we copied our file path here. It's going to be the same thing, just go ahead and copy that. We're going to paste it right here so you can see media cars. It just needs to say media cars in the proper car. Make sure PC, when you copy this and paste it, make sure PC is removed. So it's going to look like this. I'll do it again. It's going to say media PC. Make sure PC is removed from that. Or they're going to add a backslash to these. I'm going to do it for this one as well. PC removed, add a backslash, and then what we could do is go to our actual textures in our, let me see where it's at. It's going to be right here in our textures in our car folder, and I can copy the name of this. So it's Scully.Swatchbin is going to be our base color, and then Scully_normal is obviously going to be our normal. So I can go back to FTS, and then I'm going to paste that right here after the backslash. I'm going to do that for both the base color alpha and the alpha. For our normal, I'm going to do the same thing, but just copy the normal, obviously. Go back to 3D FTS, and then I can go and paste that right there. So now what we can do is save all, and then we are done with the FTS side of things. So once you're done with the FTS side of things, you can go ahead and rezip up the car, add to archive, okay. Make sure in the Media PC cars, we delete this file folder, or your car's going to load up nulled. And we're just going to drag this in there and replace the one that's currently in there. Now we can hop into Forza and see if it loaded up. Alright, I just loaded back into game. I already see the head popping right there, so I'm going to go into the actual world. And as you can see, the model loaded up right there. So it did work. All the textures look like they loaded properly, meaning that we routed the file paths and the textures accordingly in the FTS 3D viewer and Carbin. So yeah, there's really not a lot of steps to it as long as you pay attention to what you're doing and you're routing the files correctly. It's fairly easy.